Hi guys, and welcome to another video with Xander Freemaker. In this video we're going to talk about something that's pretty much on everyone's mind, and that is, why is Disney failing? I'm not going to make this video a long one. I'm going to break it down into maybe 2, 3, maybe even 4 points why Disney is failing and the reason why we're just getting so much bad content from them. So before we dive in, please like and subscribe if you like the videos, and please watch all my other videos as well. I want to build my user base, subscribers up to 1,000. Get me to that number. I'd appreciate it very much. So let's dive in. So the question is, what the hell is wrong with Disney? Well, it's a number of things, but we're going to begin with the first one, and that is management. Everybody knows that leadership reflects. Doesn't matter if you're in the army or you run a business, leadership reflects. And in the old days, Disney was untouchable. They just made hit after hit after hit. I don't hate Disney. I love Disney. I don't want it to fail. You know, right now, they deserve to fail. To fail at the magnitude that Disney is failing, you know, you have to really work hard at it. Kudos to Disney that they're actually doing a great job of failing. So the first thing we want to look at first is management. And we all know that Bob Iger is sitting at the very top. Bob Iger isn't like your average businessman. He's been around a long time. He's got a great track record. But something is wrong here. So we want to look at the reason where this is going wrong. What is happening that is making Disney make mistake after mistake after mistake? And it has to be with the hiring of activists within the company. There seem to be quite a lot. I mean, if you look at the management structure of who's running what, it's just, firstly, way too much. I know we're going to look at one of the main failures that Disney is facing. I'm not going to talk about the parks that are failing, and the list goes on and on and on. I mean, they've taken I think a 20% downfall or something like that in shares. So Bob Iger is running around trying to save everything, and I don't blame him. You know, anyone in that position would be running around. But the issue is they're not addressing the issues. It's the stubbornness, the ego, the false pride that Disney leadership has. And I'm going to go into this a little bit more, and I'm going to keep it short. Like I said, I don't want to stretch this video on and on and on. So the people that they've hired within Disney, these activists, what these activists have done is introduce ideologies, all sorts of ideologies. So there's a list here. It's wokeism, LGBTQ, and of course minorities. When I say minorities, I'm talking about ethnic minorities. For example, you're Mexican or you're black, anything but not white. That's important. Okay, so they want to kick that out of the way. But there's also something I also want to touch on, which is actually a little bit more sickening, because the way that Disney is focused its vision, it's heading towards something dark in the future. And I don't really want to go into that too much because I don't think this is the right time. We just want to talk about why I think, Disney is failing. So I think we can all agree it's the hiring of all these activists, these people with agendas are ruining the content, that we're getting. I mean, there might be a great story in the initial stages, but they're going to say, oh, no, I'm sorry, we want to get rid of this white guy, put a black person in there, or someone who's from the LGBT community, and that's going to be the hero. And if there's any white people, I should say, we're going to make them the villains, and we have to kill them off. It's just crazy. Everything is so unbalanced. It doesn't relate to what is happening in present-day society. But of course, that is their agenda. And I have to say that the people working in Disney, all these activists making the movies or deciding on what goes in these movies, are all delusional. And that's a fact. I mean, you don't need to be a brain surgeon or a doctor to figure that out, or a psychiatrist for that matter, to figure out how delusional these people are. And I think one of the biggest people in Disney today, I think no one will disagree with me, is Kathleen Kennedy.
Fuck it, make it more lame. Put another gay diverse woman in it, make it more fucking lame. Put a chick in it, make her gay. Fuck Indiana Jones, put a chick in it and make her lame and gay.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty confident she began the push for this agenda-driven movies that they create. And Star Wars is a perfect example of that. We've seen how, male heroes and male characters have been put one side, and all the, hiring of just women to write the stories, and of course, female directors. I think it's not even people who are good at what they do. The fact that she's a female, that's good enough. Far, far better directors out there. But of course, no, she has to be female, and we have female writers, maybe a few male writers here and there. Actually, I personally think there are people in Disney who cannot wait for Kathleen Kennedy to go, because they're just there doing what they have to do. They're doing what is being ordered. They're not creating from their hearts. I don't think they are. I think they're just doing it, for the sake of, okay, I don't want to lose my job. And that, people, is terrible leadership. That's terrible management. And that's throughout the entire structure of Disney. And I'm focused on, Lucasfilms here, because, like I said, it's a perfect example. You don't need, a scientist to figure it out. Even the common person who's never watched Star Wars before can figure it out, how obvious it is. So let's move on to the next subject, the next point that I think Disney is failing. And again, we're not going to focus on, other IPs that Disney have acquired, like Marvel, Fox, Pixel Works, and of course, Star Wars. So we're going to focus on Star Wars. Like I said before, Star Wars is still the largest contributor towards the continued failure that Disney seems to be repeating again and again and again. And it's the content. You just have to look at the content, watch the movies, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. And if we take a simple movie like Solo, for example, you had there which I believe to be a transgender droid, always flirting with Lando Calrissian, throughout the entire movie, with sickening kind of, like lines about how he is turned on by her and how much he wants her. That kind of storytelling is not storytelling. It's porno, really, when you think about it. This is not storytelling. This is pushing an agenda, and it's dark. This is the kind of darkness I'm talking about. I mean, if we talk about, for example, the last Indiana Jones movie, again, they've taken a great male character, a big hero, and they've made him a total loser, a useless father, crappy husband, and, anything you can think of. And then, of course, the woman's come into the scene to take over his place as the new Indiana Jones. You can't replace Indiana Jones. There's only one Indiana Jones. And, you'll find this kind of scenario, this agenda pushing when it comes to different genders, that kind of thing. It's kind of, by the way, I just want to make it clear, my personal opinion is that there are only two genders, period. So the question you would want to ask then is this: will Disney change their attitude? And the answer is simple. No, they won't. Why would they want to anyway? Okay, fine, they're losing billions of dollars. It doesn't matter. But what matters to them is the continued focus on their agenda to create the content that they feel that you will accept. And we won't accept it because 90%, maybe even more, don't like the content they're actually creating. I have a theory why they're doing this. Well, apart from the fact that we all know that they're pushing agendas, whether it be LGBT, feminism, wokeism, you can make that list goes on and on and on. I think what they're also relying on, and good on them as well, because it does actually work, and that is the IPs themselves. What I mean by that is if you take Marvel, Fox, Pixar, and Star Wars, and these IPs are more than, say, for example, 40-50 years old. Taking that into account, they already have a strong base. I'm one of those people in that base. Even though they create the crap, pushing their agendas, creating crappy stories, we are still going to go and watch it because we are still in that illusion of hope Disney will do something right, where before they used to do great things before. But now we're going into, to watch these movies with hesitation. We're spending our hard-earned money to go and watch these movies, and then we come away disappointed. And they don't care because they've made all their money. They've made their billions of dollars, and they seem to just keep it ticking on and on and on. I mean, I've said it in my last video, to make a great movie, like, for example, Fallen Order, if they're actually going to make take it and followed the storyline to the letter, it would be one of the biggest Star Wars releases since A New Hope. But they won't do it. Why? Because it's a strong male lead. It doesn't fall into their philosophy, their ideology. If they can change the character to a woman, or they can change the character to a transgender, for example, a man but a woman on the inside, hey, it will work, in their delusional minds. I should add, and I forgot to add as well, is that if it's not that, it will have to be someone from a minority. And all these ideas and philosophies and ideologies that they're pushing, this is not coming from the hierarchy. This is definitely coming from the foot soldiers, the people that have been hired to push these agendas. And it's fucking horrible, to be frankly honest with you, because, good storytelling has nothing to do with this kind of stuff. If you look at all the original Star Wars movies, you never felt uncomfortable that, Leia was a strong character. I mean, I'm not against women or anything like that, but you want good storytelling, really good storytelling. We want to be drawn in and go to a galaxy far, far away. That's where we want to be. We want those days back, but they're not doing it. Why? Because, like I said, they got an agenda and it's making money for them. I think it's, like I said before earlier in the video, it is leading to something pretty dark in the future. I do want to take you back in time a little bit here. I want to go back to about 2012 when George Lucas was talking with Kathleen Kennedy on video about, Star Wars and how much it means to him. And she's kind of parroting the same thing. And we're all thinking, oh my God, Disney's gonna continue the legacy of George Lucas. But we didn't know what was happening behind the scenes, what agenda was, taking place. And of course, the signing with Bob Iger, when, George Lucas actually finally gave control over to Disney. And the rest is history. And since then, we know what we've been getting. We know what's coming, in the future in terms of bad content. And it's going to continue. So the question is, should Disney crash and burn? And the answer is yes. Okay, Xander, calm down. That's probably what you're thinking right now. And I am calm about it because, I can see Disney crashing and burning. And when you have a regime with an ideology, with that kind of approach to making content for us and forcing their ideas on us, it's only a matter of time. It's not a question of if they will crash and burn. It's a question of when they will crash and burn. So when this actually does happen, then we can see other organizations who are sincere about making Disney a true success will come in. Elon Musk, for example, who could buy the company. There are rumors about him wanting to buy into Disney, but of course nothing has happened as of yet. And I'm sure there are other groups out there who want to buy into the company as well and take over, basically. So, this will, happen eventually. It's just a question of when, really. But it will happen at some point, I believe. Anyway, that's just my opinion. So we're coming to the end of this video now. But in summary, is there a bright future for Disney? Yes and no, but mostly no, because they're not learning from their lessons. They're not listening to the fans. They don't care. They're going about their business the way they see fit. They're out of touch and, more importantly, out of time. And this will lead to Disney crashing and burning. So, yeah, Disney is burning. Just like the rhyme, London Bridge is burning down, Disney's bridge is burning down. That's right, in flames. All we can do is sit and watch, and we got front row seats for that. So, girls and boys, I'm going to end this video here. I hope you've enjoyed it. I could talk hours and hours and hours on this subject, but I did say I want to keep this video as short as possible. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like and subscribe. I will make more videos on Disney. This story is not over by a long shot. So, there's a lot more gossip out there for me to record here on YouTube. So I'll be looking forward to seeing you again here on my channel at Xander Freemaker. Please like and subscribe, support the channel, and I'll see you next time. So ciao for now.